to start off, one of the things I would recommend for you is to go to visitbritain.com and make sure you get one of these Oyster cards delivered to yourself before you arrive in London. This can help you navigate and not stress about the extra steps you'll have to take. So get your Oyster card before you arrive, and it helps the process of transitioning slightly. The next thing I'm going to talk to you about is getting your flat sorted out. So your flat is your home or apartment, whatnot, and despite what a lot of people might think, getting your job isn't the hardest thing in London. I'd say getting your flat is the hardest thing in London, because the world comes to work in London, and the toughest thing you'll face is finding a place that you can be able to get at the appropriate time with the appropriate money. I had a lot of instances where I would call in people to book an appointment, and by the time I would actually get there, the place was gone. So it's not like, say, for in North America, you call up a place, you think about it. It doesn't work that way. If you do come, make sure you come with extra amount of money for the down, for the first and last rent, for example, to be able to get the place. If you're having trouble finding a flat, look on flatshare.com to find people who are looking to share their spare room, or go on to Gumtree. These websites are all useful to find both the area that you're interested in and the types of people that you want to be around. So the challenge, again, when you first move, say you arrive at a hostel, don't spend your time looking for the job and think, oh, I'll sort out my place later. Getting your flat is the most important thing, and it'll give you peace of mind when you're doing other things. So find your flat, and after you do that, the first thing I recommend you do is go to First Contact. They're right near, I think the station is Tottenham Court Road, and you go and visit them, show them certain credentials that you have, be able to vouch that you are going to be looking for a job and you're a healthy candidate for that, and they'll be able to help you set up a bank account. Now, the second hardest thing in London is to open up your bank account without any prior history. These guys will be able to help you with that, and that's the one part of their service I can more or less vouch for. Other people may have different experiences, I don't know, but I found that so many people had trouble opening a bank account, but these guys really streamlined the process. They give an introduction with a bank, you set it up, and this is where your permanent address comes in handy, because they require a permanent address to open your bank account. Now, First Contact can vouch for your permanent address for only around 2 weeks or so, I think, but then you'll really need a permanent address. And in a place, if you don't know anybody, that comes in handy. They offer other services, but I wasn't really keen on that. The next step, obviously, is for you to get your NINO, and basically that's your national insurance number in order to work. And to get your national insurance number, these guys can help you, but I didn't have the best experience with that process because of the way it was delayed. So file out your national insurance number. In order to do that, you'll actually need to be working for an employer, kind of. It's a little bit complicated, but you can fill out the form, and you can be able to start working properly. The good news is you can work for a company as you're applying for your national insurance number, and that's something that you shouldn't worry too much about. It'll feel a little stressful at first as you're doing it simultaneously, but rest assured that there is some process to the chaos. Then after you do that, so you got your bank account and you got your Oyster. The next thing you could think about is your national health insurance, and the NHS. These guys will be able to give you national insurance or health coverage, more or less, because when you're working for a company, the company pays into this for the government. And what you have to do is go to wherever you're living, look them up on the internet to see what branches of the healthcare departments are around you. And once you figure that out, you set up an appointment, you go there, you fill out a form, they scan your passport and whatnot with your visa credibility, and then they set up an appointment with your personal doctor and your GP, and that gives you a peace of mind that knowing that you're covered. And that's one of the great things about Britain, or countries like Britain, is that they have the free healthcare system. So those are the necessities covered. The other things I want to tell you, that if you don't have any friends and you're in London, one of the things you can do to get acquainted with the area, make some friends, use a website called meetup.com. Use it to see if there's expat groups meeting monthly, so that you kind of meet other people that are going through a similar process as you. I did that a bit late in the process, and I could have met even more people from the beginning, but I isolated myself a bit. And meet expats and start looking for things that you're interested in. The great thing about London, there's so many free museums that you could go to. So if you ever feel bored, get out of the house. Don't stay inside the house. Don't stay inside wherever you are. Just get out there and get a bit of fresh air. Once you start getting yourself integrated, you'll notice that there are certain attitudes or cultural norms that might ring more true than you previously thought. London is notoriously a pub culture, and so if you want to blend in with the crowd and get to know people more intimately after work, then you do visit the pubs with them and get to know your colleagues, talk to them, and really try to make the time to socialize. The great thing about the pub culture is people are very friendly, and everybody's just there to have a good time. So as you're going through these different steps, you'll be able to see slowly through osmosis that you're integrating yourself, and you're seeing the greater parts of London. Prior to getting there, all of this seems very overwhelming, and I remember I would get stomach aches thinking about it. I'd be very nervous because it's the unknown, and you're leaving behind all the comfort levels, and that's the best part of it. Once you travel as an expat, something clicks in your brain, that you realize that, not in a nihilistic sense, but you really are on your own in this world, and you have to use all of your resources to come to grips with the fact that you have to find peace within yourself, and that you are going to be on your own, far away from people. It prepares you for the moments that some of the people back home may have not been used to, because there is a natural progression and a natural order to their lives. By taking this leap of faith and going to the unknown, it's very inconvenient, but it's the inconvenience in those moments that build up your character as you're dealing only with yourself. And then, as you're going through this process, it can only help you, make you stronger, because at the end of the day, the obstacle is the way. And in a culture, say for example in North America, there's certain order to things, and maybe not even North America, maybe to the world. But this is why traveling and working abroad for a short period of time is good for your character, moral fiber. And if I did this earlier, I think I would have reaped even more benefits. But Um, it's never too late to do this. When you're researching it, don't be overwhelmed. Just take it one day at a time. Fill out your forms, send them in, get there, do your research about certain places, but you won't really know how things will feel until you're physically there. And once you're physically there, you'd be quite surprised to see how a place like London has so many pockets of different people, different experiences that you could possibly find where you belong.